If you want to improve your mental health, then I hate to break it to you, but you're going to have to do the work. There's no magic pill that you can pop that will do it for you. Today, I'm sharing mental health tips that actually work, and I'll cover 6 ways to change your mental health that will also change your approach to life. So, let's talk about better mental health. Hi, I'm Jeremy Godwin, and I talk about looking after your mental health with simple tips based on quality research and my own experience of dealing with mental health challenges. Do a web search for how to improve mental health and you'll be bombarded with more self-care and personal growth tips and techniques than you can shake a stick at. I know, I did it myself back in 2011 when I was dealing with a total breakdown, and I remember being completely overwhelmed and not knowing where to start. Over on my Instagram, I post daily life advice that doesn't suck, and those videos are a way for me to share some of the things that I've learned over the past decade or so as I've worked out how to look after my own mental health and well-being. Now, I certainly don't think that I have all of the answers, because I don't. However, what I do have is 2 things that give me a pretty good level of understanding when it comes to improving your mental health. First, I've been through it myself. After that breakdown, I spent a few years with severe depression and anxiety, so I know what it's like to live with mental health issues, and I still have very mild anxiety today, which I'm fortunately able to manage. Secondly, I actually went off and studied this stuff, so I went back to uni in 2014 and did a degree in psychology and sociology, and I now actually work as a coach and counselor part-time. So I make sure that all of my work is based on quality research rather than just being a whole bunch of opinions, because everything in psychology has to be backed up with facts and evidence. And let me tell you that those random conspiracy posts that your Aunt Susan likes to share on Facebook really don't cut it when it comes to actual evidence on what works for improving your well-being. So along the way through my own journey with working on my mental health, I've picked up a few things that stand out to me as being really important when it comes to how you think about your life and how you approach each day. And so that's the stuff I'm sharing here today. Starting with, change is necessary. Because a lot of the time we can find change scary or uncomfortable and we want things to stay the same. But if you want to grow and if you want things to get better, then change is absolutely essential. Why? Because nothing changes if nothing changes. If you want to improve your mental health and improve your life, then you need to make an honest assessment of what is working for you versus what isn't. Do more of the stuff that is working, and then look at the stuff that isn't working and identify how you can change it. Part of that involves my next point: be willing to make mistakes. Because life really is trial and error. If you want to grow and evolve, then you have to try new things. And if it doesn't work, then that's okay. Just try something else. It's better to try and fail than never know, and it's okay to change your mind. I did it a few months back with TikTok, and I quickly realized it's not for me. But I'm glad I tried, rather than just wondering what if. Mistakes and failures are a really important part of how we learn and how we grow as human beings. Remember, you are not your mistakes, you are what you do with them. Okay, next, there is no going back. Because the past is the past, it's done, and what is what is. You can either dwell on whatever happened or didn't happen, or you can work on making your peace with it. You can't have both. The more you let yourself fester over the past, the more control it has over you. But no amount of thinking about things and going over and over them will ever change whatever did or didn't happen. The longer you focus on the past, the longer you will feel stuck. And feeling stuck is the worst feeling in the world, because it's like your soul knows that you're doing harm to yourself, and so things can just begin to feel worse and worse in all different areas of your life. You live in the present, so live in the present. If you're finding it hard to let go of emotional baggage, I talk about how to do that in my new book, Let's Talk About Mental Health Volume 1. It's available now on Amazon and Apple Books, and it's linked in the description below. Okay, so my next tip is focus on one step at a time. Because you don't have to have all of the answers right now, and in fact, you never will, because there's just so many variables in life that you'll never be able to actually work out or predict what will or won't happen in the future. So instead of trying to get too far ahead of yourself, just focus on the current step and maybe the next one, but that's it. Know the direction that you're heading in, but don't try to think too far ahead, because then you'll miss out on the present. And again, the present is where you live. The future is unknown and unknowable. So just focus on one step at a time. Okay, my next tip is actually about dealing with other people, and it is you decide who has access to you. You're never going to get along with everybody, and that's okay. You get to choose who you allow into your life. So if someone isn't for you, or if they treat you poorly, then limit their access to you, or remove it entirely. You may not have any control over what someone else says or does, but you most certainly do have control over who you spend your time with. If someone chooses to repeatedly be hurtful to you and to do harm to you, choose to walk away. Your peace of mind is far more important than anything else. Okay, next, do no harm, be kind, and give more than you take. And if you've ever watched one of my videos or listened to my podcast, then you'll know that these three things are, for me, the foundation of better mental health, because they're about how you treat others and how you treat yourself. It really doesn't matter what your specific belief system is. My view of the world is that if you're someone who does no harm, is kind, and who gives more than they take, then you're a pretty good person. And it really doesn't matter what you believe in specifically, and it certainly doesn't matter what other people think. Those three things give you a simple way to think about what you put out into the world in terms of how you treat others and how you treat yourself. And you can use them to guide you as you make choices about what you do and say. The choice is yours, as it is with all things related to your well-being. So, what choice will you make today? Let me know in the comments below. And for even more ways to improve your well-being, watch this video next for 9 basics of good mental health. And subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. Plus check out my weekly podcast, Let's Talk About Mental Health. It's linked in the description below. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care and talk to you next time.